Few names are as well known as Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris when it comes to reality TV power couples. 4 fans have followed them for years as they have experienced love, loyalty, and all of life's obstacles, and they've been thrown stardom. However, recent heartbreaking rumors and tearful disclosures indicate that the pair may be perched on the brink of a split. What became of the seemingly unbreakable bond? Behind the glamour, behind the red carpet appearances and TV cameras is a tale of family problems and growing tensions, problems with trust, and the intense public scrutiny that might be pressuring Yandy and Mendeecees to split. Social media has been generating a lot of conjecture as cryptic posts, subtly revealed interviews, and obvious fans are unable to overlook the picture that is painted by their absences from one another's sides. Will they be able to withstand this storm together? Or is this the start of the end for one of the most admired pairs? The rumors of tension have become too loud to ignore anymore. Supporters are split between those who are afraid and those who think their love will last. Perhaps the fissures are too deep already. This is more than just rumors. It involves observing 2 individuals who have created an empire of family, business, and love attempting to negotiate the harsh reality of live in the limelight. Yandy, renowned for her self-reliance and strength, confronts the painful prospect of losing the guy she has battled so hard to support. Mendeecees, who is respected for despite his honesty and tenacity, Kay is now the subject of debate over devotion and loyalty. Collectively, their passion and selflessness have inspired innumerable admirers. However, the query that everyone is currently asking is easy. Will their love withstand this most recent test? Or will heartbreak ultimately triumph over love? 1. The world will undoubtedly be following them at every turn, whether they choose to remain together or drift away. The tale of Mendeecees Harris and Yandy Smith has always captivated fans, because it combined the glitz of reality TV with the actual difficulties of a couple attempting to strike a balance between loyalty, love, and the demands of celebrity. Their connection was portrayed for years as one based on sacrifice, tenacity, and loyalty. However, the reality is that even the most resilient couples have hidden stresses that go unnoticed: cameras and appearances on the red carpet. Mendeecees and Yandy encountered challenges that tested their dedication once more. And once more, from Mendeecees' court cases and imprisonment to Yandy's function as both, during those trying times, the mother and businesswoman had to maintain her composure while her boyfriend was away, made them a representation of perseverance for a large number of supporters, who thought their love was powerful enough to conquer any obstacles. However, as rumors of an upcoming split spread, it's important to review how. The same difficulties that initially brought them together may have also sowed the seeds of tension that is now too hard to overlook. Among the most significant pressures in the focus has always been on their connection. Yandy and Mendeecees never enjoyed the luxury that most couples do, of not disclosing their difficulties. Every dispute, every tear, and every effort at peacemaking was exaggerated, for millions of hip-hop and love viewers. Reality TV in New York is thriving on drama. Additionally, although it provided Yandy and Mendeecees with a forum to tell their tale, it also meant that the public was amused by their most vulnerable times. Eventually, that type of exposure can result in difficult-to-heal sores. Imagine attempting to resolve personal conflicts or rebuild trust when not millions of strangers, in addition to your family, are influencing your decisions. For Mendeecees and Yandy, every choice has been evaluated, every error magnified, and every victory eclipsed by conjecture. Their fame may have been solidified by this degree of scrutiny, but it also made preserving closeness and trust an ongoing struggle. An additional layer of the responsibilities they each play in their families and in the community put them under pressure. Public view. Yandy has continuously positioned herself as an activist, entrepreneur, mother, powerhouse, and head. She has founded companies, promoted social justice, and developed into a role model for women who respect her power and independence. Meanwhile, Mendeecees has been burdened with his previous legal issues and the associated public opinion. Fans appreciated his candor in facing his errors. The specter of those hardships has never quite disappeared. This disparity, where Yandy is frequently observed when rumors of friction have been stoked by the stronger, more stable partner, underneath the surface. Did Yandy's success ever make Mendeecees feel inferior? Did Yandy ever think she was responsible for more of their relationship than he was? These inquiries, whether or if they were addressed in private, remain in the thoughts of followers who are currently examining every indication of peril. The question of trust lies at the core of all of this. Have faith rebuilding after being shook is extremely difficult, particularly in a partnership played out in such a public way. Mendeecees and Yandy have been the subject of rumors over the years regarding adultery, disputes over priorities, divergent parenting philosophies, and company. The undercurrent of these problems may have never completely disappeared, despite their constant public displays of solidarity away. In actuality, unsolved, unsaid conflicts can subtly undermine even the most resilient ofties. When admirers witness Mendeecees talking cryptically about independence or Yandy sharing inspirational quotations about loyalty, it feeds the idea that rifts are getting deeper. Whether or not those posts represent their relationship directly, and the audience can't help but notice the connection due to the time and tone. What the couple's own quiet adds even more intensity to this moment. Previously, both Yandy and Mendeecees has responded to rumors promptly, or at the very least, given followers enough confidence to ease their fears. But this time, the lack of clarification merely fuels further conjecture. Quietness makes room for stories that go out of hand. And that's precisely what's taking place right now. Without the other, every public presence is taken as confirmation. Each individual post as a clue, take every evaded query as evidence that a more significant event is taking place in the background. Because of the uncertainty, supporters caught between dread and hope. Some people are holding on to the hope that Yandy and Mendeecees will weather this storm, but others prepare themselves for the prospect that one of the most adored couples on TV and reality may eventually be ending. Actually, the prospect of a split affects more than simply Yandy and Mendeecees. For me, it has cultural significance as well. Their bond has evolved into not just a romantic tale. For fans who identify with their hardships and victories, it serves as a symbol. If they split, it would signify more than simply the dissolution of a collaboration. However, the destruction of a picture that many clung to it as evidence that love was resilient. Fans find the rumors extremely hurtful because of this. It seems intimate, as though it reflects their own aspirations and ideas regarding love. Whether or not this is the tipping point, the world is watching and waiting for simply another chapter in their continuous story, responses that can only be provided by Mendeecees and Yandy. If there is one, provide when conjecture becomes a wildfire. The rumors regarding Yandy and Mendeecees on social media relationship have descended into complete digital mayhem. Sites such as YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok have turned into battlefields where fans, the likelihood of the couple's breakup is discussed by K, blogs, rumor, and even other celebrities. What started off as subtle clues, a picture without a wedding band, a lone red carpet appearance, or a mysterious caption that swiftly sparked countless discussion videos, memes, and discussions. For a long time, these minor clues were sufficient to create a flurry of hypotheses among love and hip-hop fans, who were searching through old footage and interviews to look for hints that could indicate problems had been simmering for a while. The court in the digital age of public opinion is constantly shifting. Additionally, the decisions for Yandy and Mendeecees are passed down are as passionate as they are contradictory. The discussion has been unrelenting on Twitter. Mendeecees, Yandy, and daughter B breakup rumors were among the hashtags that started trending, with users share anything from scathing criticism to remarks full of affection. Yandy's recent emphasis on freedom and self-determination, according to some supporters, is evidence that she is getting ready to leave the marriage. Others contended that Mendeecees' own enigmatic statements are subtle jabs at Yandy regarding loyalty and trust, implying a rift that is too great to disregard. However, other people stand up for the pair, telling others not to draw hasty judgments and reminding everyone should be aware that not all posts on social media are clues. A never-ending stream of argument resulted from the back and forth, making Yandy and Mendeecees the most talked-about pair on the internet right now. Instagram fueled the flames in a different manner. Fan sites and blogs with rumors abound, timelines that compare images from the past and present side by side, pointing out minute variations in public looks and body language. An image of Yandy at a function generated thousands of comments, guessing that she was purposefully making a statement without Mendeecees by her side. Assertion. Likewise, when Mendeecees was seen having fun with pals without Yandy around, the images quickly gained popularity, with titles such as Trouble in Paradise and Where is Yandy? Memes started to appear. Some were sarcastic, while others were funny. Crucial, demonstrating the extent to which people care about the couple's connection. Fans avidly watched every word and picture Yandy and Mendeecees posted on Instagram stories in particular. Them, breaking them down as though they were hints, taking them apart as though they were hints. TikTok's inventive, fast-paced material developed into a mystery thriller, the rumors into entertainment that becomes viral. Users produced skits that acted out imagined disputes between Mendeecees and Yandy, while others created insightful analysis films that connected previous episodes of hip-hop and love in relation to contemporary affairs. Yandy's previous quotes regarding independence, love, and trust were combined with captions such as, "Did she see this?" to create viral audio clips Ye warned us years ago, or "Coming all along?" The platform's algorithm made certain that when a single video regarding the breakup showed up in a user's stream, innumerable others would come after, generating a never-ending cycle of conjecture and exaggeration. For fans who are younger in particular, TikTok became the focal point where the rumors developed into extensive cultural criticism, solidifying the notion that the status of Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship was no longer simply their company, which at the same time provided a slower, more thorough analysis of the drama. Hour-long analyses on all aspects of the situation were posted by bloggers and commentators. Circumstance. Others base their views only on social media, while others assert insider knowledge, evidence as well as an examination of body language. Videos that ask questions like, "Did we know the truth about Yandy and Mendeecees' marriage? Ignore the warning signs?" accumulated hundreds of thousands of views, indicating the public's desire for clarity. Podcasters jumped on the bandwagon and devoted whole programs to the subject, frequently inviting people to discuss if this was the last straw or just another test for the pair. In numerous, these authors presented the rumors as more than mere chatter in certain instances. They transformed them into relationship lessons, resilience, and trust, making sure that the discussion went beyond simply amusement value. The social media frenzy's extreme intensity shows how. The story of Yandy and Mendeecees strikes a deep chord with people. Many people don't merely appear on reality TV. They stand for tenacity, devotion, and hope. That's why so many admirers find the prospect of their split personal. Some people display sadness by contrasting the circumstance to losing trust in the power of real love to triumph over all obstacles. Some are more pessimistic, asserting that always perceived relational flaws and believe that this result was unavoidable. The fans' emotional commitment makes conjecture more potent than simple rumor and turns it into a shared story that followers believe they have helped to shape. What makes things even more difficult is the quiet of the pair. Neither Mendeecees nor Yandy have definitively acknowledged the split rumors. And social media is all too happy to fill the void left by this lack of clarity. Every delayed reply, every ambiguous post, and each missed chance to show up together simply makes the craze worse. The end effect is a cycle that provides itself. The couple remains silent, which leads to further rumors, according to fans. Mendeecees and Yandy believe that this makes it impossible to win. Their words will be analyzed if they speak. If they remain silent, it will be used against them as a weapon. Ultimately, social media has transformed the rumors of a fragment into a major cultural occasion. Fans and the platforms both profit from conjecture, got linked to the narrative, resulting in an ideal storm of mayhem. Regarding Yandy, in this instance has demonstrated that Mendeecees and his partner are no longer merely a private issue. Millions of people feel invested in this public spectacle. Regardless of whether the rumors are accurate, they have already been found guilty of disintegrating by the court of public opinion. Additionally, such impression is among the worst challenges a famous couple may face. However, the clamor on social media is unavoidable. The more profound truth behind. The difficulties in Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship stem from the significant burdens they've carried on both as individuals and as a pair. For them, fame has always been a double-edged sword. Hip-hop and love, on the one hand, raised their names and provided them with chances that they might not have otherwise had. It enabled them to establish their businesses, reach millions of admirers, and provide their family with financial opportunities. However, that same celebrity accentuated each and every imperfection, every argument, and every error. Being in the spotlight means never being given the privacy that most couples need to settle disputes. And eventually, that attention turns into more of a liability than a benefit. For Mendeecees and Yandy's incessant need to entertain the cameras while simultaneously attempting to remain honest probably caused conflict that few couples could endure. Balancing love and business has been one of their relationship's most persistent problems. Yandy's more than just a mother and wife. She is an astute businesswoman who has amassed an empire via her diligence, self-control, as well as vision. Her business endeavors, which include activism, community service, and beauty and lifestyle brands, have solidified her position as a dominant force. However, the characteristics that constitute Yandy being well-liked by the general public can occasionally cause marital stress. Ambition, independence, and unwavering determination frequently conflict with the conventional standards of a partnership. Conversely, Mendeecees has tried to negotiate his own identities, both establishing his place in a world where Hersheen was the norm and aborting Yandy frequently assumes the main role. Despite being admired for his integrity and efforts to move on from his imprisonment, the public's perception is unbalanced. Yandy serves as the face of many admirers of power. Even while Mendeecees is seen as the one catching up, this relationship might eventually lead to animosity, insecurity, or separation between spouses, particularly when millions of people are watching every action. Family life makes things much more complicated. Mendeecees and Yandy are more than simply romantic companions. They serve as role models, parents, and suppliers. Managing a career in the spotlight while raising children is an enormous undertaking. Specifically, Yandy has been candid about the challenges she faces in juggling her responsibilities as a mother. Businesswoman and wife frequently expresses that she feels overburdened. For his part, Mendeecees has been open about the difficulties he faces reintegrating into society after spending time apart from his family. Getting used to becoming a father and marriage while attempting to overcome the burden of his history is not a simple undertaking. These familial demands, in addition to the even the most devoted spouses would find it difficult to cope with the stress that comes with the demands of celebrity. Have faith also dominates the discussion. Dedicated followers recall the times when loyalty and faithfulness issues emerged as major plot points on Love and Hip Hop. Even when those plots were resolved, it's possible that the shadows they created persisted behind the scenes. Trust is delicate, and rebuilding it becomes a difficult task after it is put to the test in front of the public on numerous occasions. Yandy's audience being perceived as a strong lady could imply tenacity. However, in private, even the most powerful individuals possess breaking points. Likewise, Mendeecees' serene and introspective manner might portray steadiness. However, beneath the surface, he might also be battling uncertainties, annoyances, or unsaid disputes. The burden of those unresolved emotions combined with duties to one's family and fame could be fans now think they can see past the personal relationships, which contributes to the fissures. The sector itself has a part in determining how their relationship developed. Conflict is the lifeblood of reality television. The exact device that Mendeecees and elevated Yandy have a stake in maintaining their drama. Every dispute that was discussed, every heartfelt admission, each dramatic disclosure was woven into a greater story that spectators saw, similar to amusement. This blurring of the boundaries between performance and reality can be draining for the pair. Were they bickering as a married couple or as characters on reality TV completing a plot? Although such question might seem straightforward, however, living inside of it leads to misunderstandings and, over time, can undermine the relationship's genuineness. Performance is required for fame, and when it permeates one's personal life, it becomes difficult to distinguish fact from fiction. A fundamental truth lies dangerously at the heart of these demands. Mendeecees and Yandy are both human. Their tale of love, despite its seeming aspirations, it is not impervious to trust issues, self-identity, and equilibrium that afflict many relationships. The distinction is that each challenge they encounter eyes enlarged, captured on camera, and evaluated in real time by a worldwide viewership. There is little opportunity for mistakes, development, or personal healing in an unrelenting loop. Additionally, as rumors of a separation increases, it's evident that the demands of family, business, and celebrity, even the strongest love, might falter in the circumstances that life has produced. Admirers who were compelled to face a more grim reality after initially viewing their narrative as evidence of the tenacity of love. Love alone isn't always enough to withstand the pressure of the outside world, as the relationship between Yandy and Mendeecees was still the subject of rumors, timelines, and headlines. The tale eventually spread beyond fans and rumors websites to the larger entertainment sector. When relationships between celebrities break down, as particularly, there is a huge knock-on impact for people who have been seen as resilient and devoted. Co-workers, co-stars, and even other reality stars started to voice their opinions, whether quietly, either directly through podcasts and interviews, or indirectly through enigmatic posts. Some believe that the possible split between Yandy and Mendeecees was more than just a plot point. It served as a warning about the toll. Even the most committed spouses can fall victim to celebrity. Others used it as a chance to either express support for Yandy or agree with Mendeecees, escalating the already tumultuous situation with layers of intrigue and drama. reality TV is fueled by, it has long been recognized that hip-hop and drama and love are intertwined for incorporating distinct plots into larger themes. Thus, the reported split between Yandy and Mendeecees doesn't the franchise as a whole is impacted by the just affect them bit. Members of the cast people from the past and present have been asked to comment, and their responses have only served to increase conjecture. Some have given Yandy acclaim for her strength, implying that she should put her happiness first and deserves better. Others have shown their support for Mendeecees, stating that he has grown since his past issues and merits the benefit of the doubt. Fans are caught in the center of a narrative tug-of-war created by these conflicting voices as they attempt to assemble their own interpretation of reality. Additionally, the media has been crucial in determining how the tale is eaten. Drama is what entertainment websites and outlets are all about, and Yandy and Mendeecees' possible breakup offered a wealth of information. Headlines like "Love and the Power of Hip-Hop" or "Trouble in Paradise for Yandy and Mendeecees." Websites and social media feeds featured the pair on the verge of disaster, making sure that even people who hadn't been abruptly become involved after intently observing the relationship. Radio broadcasters and chat shows on television also jumped on the subject, frequently using dramatic language that didn't allow for any nuance. By doing this, the media turned rumors become an inevitable cultural event that both supporters and onlookers couldn't get away. The industry's response is particularly potent because of its potential to influence the brand of a couple outside of their private life. Both Mendeecees and Yandy are more than just reality stars. They are entrepreneurs, prominent personalities, and influencers who depend on their reputations to sustain collaborations, sponsorships, and business endeavors. When rumors of a breakup take the stage, brands grow wary, awaiting the story's development before making a complete commitment to partnerships. Even if a scandal is based on conjecture, it can nonetheless endanger future projects, speaking engagements, or business partnerships. Regarding Yandy, whose businesses benefit from her reputation as a strong, independent woman, therefore how she responds to the circumstance will probably impact how she is perceived going future by both fans and businesses. For Mendeecees, whose quest for atonement has been paramount, the storyline about loyalty and trust could either support or contradict his development as a public figure entirely. Another level of intrigue was given by rumors of a celebrity strike in the entertainment industry. There were rumors that some of the peers and collaborators would turn away until the couple directly addressed the rumors. Even though there was no official strike, the suggestion of it demonstrated how unstable things had gotten. In fields where partnerships and reputation are just as important, as however, the very suggestion of separation can have a cascading effect. Other famous people started sharing mysterious posts regarding loyalty. Case integrity and posts about understanding your worth helped people connect with Yandy and Mendeecees right away. Regardless of whether those posts were actually about them or not, they contributed to the idea that the split rumors were more significant than rumors. They were a topic of conversation in the industry. Such a celebrity participation lends legitimacy to the narrative. Direct or indirect statements from stars indicate that the problem is too significant to overlook. Additionally, it meant that Yandy and Mendeecees' individual hardships were now being talked about by rivals, mentors, and peers in addition to fans. A few of those voices arrived from a position of compassion, others from condemnation. However, they all increased the strain. The pair was already in danger. Rather than being able to deal with their problems in secret, they had toe tangle of public narratives, all of which simultaneously tug individuals in different directions. The sector is adept at take advantage of opportunities such as this. Networks, promoters, and producers understand that controversy sells, and strong engagement and huge ratings are promised by the potential split plotline. It begs the query, are Yandy and Mendeecees being pushed covertly, or are they victims of circumstance, straight into supplying a machine that makes money off of their suffering? The complete answer may never be revealed to fans, but the timing of the intensity of the coverage and the rumors indicate that the distinction between entertainment and reality has once again hazy. The relationship between Yandy and Mendeecees is no longer solely on its content. In the end, everyone wants a piece of this business and cultural behemoth. The reactions from the media and industry do more than just make the situation more dramatic. The stakes are shaped by them. If Mendeecees and Yandy are able to weather this storm, it will serve as another illustration of their tenacity, further solidifying their reputation as a resilient couple. They will be presented as the catastrophic event if they shatter, but the unavoidable breakdown of a romance in which the world had become overly involved. In any case, they won't be the only ones telling the story. To manage. In the entertainment industry, that is the brutal reality of being a power couple. Your tale of love it belongs to the media and the audience just as much as it does to you. Given the rumors circulating around Yandy and Mendeecees making headlines, the most important question is still, what will happen next? Will this super couple ever regarded as a beacon of devotion and tenacity, capable of restoring and silencing the rumors? Or are they really on the verge of a permanent split? The truth is that only Mendeecees and Yandy are aware of it, the activities taking place behind closed doors. However, this public storm's effects have already went well beyond their home. The narrative has evolved into a cultural flashpoint that people project onto their own experiences, hopes, and concerns. Some people believe that their possible breakup is tragic, demonstrating that even love strengthened by years of hardship can continue to disintegrate. Others see it as a reminder that relationships, regardless of, despite their dazzling appearance, they are delicate, multifaceted, and constantly at risk under the burden of celebrity. As complex as their path has been, so too are the potential results. If Mendeecees and Yandy want to remain, they will have to work together to do more than just keep the rumors to themselves. Rebuilding trust will be necessary, not only between them, different, but with their viewers. Their story has an emotional attachment to its fans. Consequently, any reconciliation will be examined as closely as their purported disintegration. Every remark, every picture, and every joint appearance will be checked for genuineness. They might be able to change the story and come out stronger if they stick together. However, transparency, humility, and a unified front are necessary to persuade the public and themselves that their love is still enduring. However, the consequences could be equally important if the split is genuine. Together, Yandy and Mendeecees have developed a brand that capitalizes on the perception of a love-based alliance, challenged by adversity. Their corporate relationships, as well as their personal life, would be destroyed if they separated, their following and their meticulously developed story. It could be the start of a new chapter for Yandy, chapter characterized by self-reliance, fortitude, and empowerment. Regarding Mendeecees, re-establishing himself outside of their union's shadow would demonstrate his ability to stand on his own 2 feet. Although both routes are feasible, they are risky. What cannot be disputed, however, the choice to remain together or to leave will redefine their enduring legacy. The rumors of a celebrity strike add even more complexity to the image. There have been conversations in the entertainment sector regarding certain colleagues, partners, or even allies in the industry might discreetly pull away until things become clear. However, no formal action has been stolen. The whole notion of a celebrity strike emphasizes how serious the situation is. Like brands, celebrities are wary of being linked to controversy or instability, and their abrupt withdrawal or quiet can transmit strong signals. Should such a strike come to be, Yandy and Mendeecees would be isolated just as they most in need of assistance. It would also show how brittle industrial coalitions can be. When loyalty is subordinated to the control of reputation, a couple who are already the subject of intense public scrutiny faces the threat of losing allies in the workplace only makes their predicament more emotionally taxing. However, the lessons this narrative imparts may have the most influence to supporters and admirers. Mendeecees and Yandy have consistently stood for more than just a reality TV pair. They have stood for tenacity in the face of adversity, love put to the test by imprisonment and distance, and the conviction that fidelity can triumph over hardship. If they do make it through this storm, it will be evidence of the strength of perseverance, dedication, and communication. If they don't, it will serve as a depressing reminder that relationships, no matter how strong, may fall apart, especially under the public's unrelenting scrutiny. In any case, their tale emphasizes how crucial it is to strike a balance between love and ambition, fame and privacy, independence and collaboration, and reliance and collaboration. It's easy for us fans to think of this as just another drama, but it's important to keep in mind that 2 actual people are attempting to traverse an exceptional circumstance. Mendeecees and Yandy might have decided to live in the spotlight, but that doesn't lessen the reality of the anguish of possible heartbreak. Whether they end up together or apart, their journey is a strong representation of the difficulties that innumerable couples encounter, heightened by cameras, comments, and celebrity society. Even while the world may never fully understand what transpires between Yandy and Mendeecees, one thing is for sure, their tale will be remembered for a long time. They will continue to be an inspiration as a pair if they come out stronger, weathered the turmoil of public opinion in addition to personal difficulties. Even if they split up, their love, the empire they created, and the teachings they taught will live on. Millions learnt from the journey. Right now, the only thing anyone can do is observe, wait, and hope that they find peace in whatever choice they make.